My name is Bonnie B, and you are watching The Power of Perseverance. Hello, everybody. Okay, so today's episode, we are going to talk about BHB, our liquid acid form, and the energy drink Vault. You know, this product was launched at the end of August with Patrick Bet-David. For those of you who do not know who he is, you need to go look him up. An incredible voice in our world, who not only is raising the bar in business with the books he has out, being Your Next 5 Moves and Choose Your Enemies Wisely. You just got to go look him up. He's got an incredible story about where he's come from and what he's done to achieve what he's been able to do, and really show there's no excuse why you can't be doing all the things you love to do and making the kind of money you want to do. So go look him up. His values, his brand aligns with ours. That is why we chose to collaborate with him and to bring out this incredible product. So a few things. This last weekend, I was at the Supply Side West trade show out in Las Vegas. It's where all the manufacturers, brand ingredient suppliers, everybody for supplements comes out to have a booth, showcase their ingredients, their capabilities. And what was really amazing about this experience was, as I was networking and talking to people, they are getting feedback from their consumers that people are starting to understand ketones way beyond the keto diet. These exogenous ketones is a pathway to bring your body to a state of having these ketones in your body without going and having the diet raise those levels. And a study I read over the weekend showed that actually when you have DBHB or DL in your system, and there is glucose also in your system, you are optimally promoting healthy cellular regulation, which means you don't have to be on a keto diet. You don't have to be starving yourself of the carbohydrates. Now, when I say carbohydrates, there's a better fuel for a healthier carbohydrate, right? The cleaner ones. And then you have the ones that are highly processed carbohydrates. But either way, putting exogenous ketones in your body is about brain fuel. It's about giving your brain what it's seeking and putting it back into homeostasis, a state we were born into. Now, people really do confuse keto, ketogenesis, ketoacidosis. They confuse all of that because they are so uneducated. But anyway, these manufacturers and people I was talking, these high-level executive decision makers, we were collaborating about these products we could do to be able to showcase how ketones are beyond weight loss. That is just one of the benefits, where the top benefit of having exogenous ketones in your body truly is for your brain. So we're going to jump into Vault. So Vault has our DBHB, beta hydroxybutyrate ketone in it. And what's important to note about our ketones, DBHB, that is attached to minerals, is there's no alcohol backbone to this. What that means is the other resources that are out there on the market, a 1,3-butanediol and the esters, have alcohol backbone to them or an alcohol base. Like 1,3-butanediol is alcohol. It actually can throw an alcoholic into alcoholism because of the process it takes to break down through your liver. Same with the esters. The esters have to be broken down through your liver. So you are expenditure of 15% energy to extract energy from these ketones. That doesn't make any sense to me when you can literally drink a Vault, have a liquid form acid or a powder put in water, which is the same thing, and drink these ketones, and they do not require to be processed through the liver. So you're not extracting energy from an energy source to get more energy. You are getting straight energy absorption through your mouth. Now, what most people don't understand is, supplements that you take that might be tincture form. When you put these under your tongue is the most powerful absorption in your mouth. Now imagine drinking these ketones and it absorbs under your tongue through the most highest efficacious way in your mouth. And then it directly absorbs into your bloodstream. You not only because it goes straight to your brain because of the blood-brain barrier, but now you have just bypassed the liver processing pathway that typically most things have to go through. How incredible is that? All right, so we have got one of our white papers, which is called Power of Go BHB in an RTD. And RTD stands for Ready to Drink. You are seeing all of these energy drinks, for those of you watching on YouTube. So you've got that Celsius in the background, you've got Monster, you've got C4. All of these energy drinks are not real energy. They say energy because it stimulates the neurons in your brain, suppressing the adenosine, which means it's going to create a sense of false energy, which being stimulated, now you're motivated to get things done. But then when it wears off, you crash because of that big rush that comes afterwards. And that's not what we want to do for our body long term. You see, when you overstimulate your neurons for a long period of time, think about it logically. Let's just think about it. We're stimulating and we're pushing it to the max. It's like putting your Ferrari in hyperdrive in a 10-hour race constantly. You're going to burn the engine out because it's not high efficiency fuel for your vessel, you guys. It's not optimal. And what your brain really needs is ketones because it's the fourth macronutrient. It's what your brain craves. And these studies show that when the mitochondria is penetrated by these BHB molecules, it actually does almost, if you imagine with me, this force field around the cell, and it prevents it from inflaming, which in turn prevents Alzheimer's, it prevents dementia. And if your brain is getting what it needs long term, you're naturally reducing, clinically proven, your stress by 40%. Your natural stress lowers by 40%. The most important organ, one of the most important organs in your body is your brain. It is the central nervous system directing everything subconsciously in your body. So why wouldn't you want to take care of it in the most optimal way by giving it exactly what it's asking for? A ketone. Now, going on a keto diet is a pathway to get your body to produce it and to raise those levels. It's one way only. People, not everybody likes to eat that way. So for those who like to eat more carbohydrates in their diet, taking an exogenous ketone creates a pathway for your body to optimally use ketones. Then it preserves the glycogen, the glucose stores for your body to use as energy, and your brain is able to efficiently do what it needs to do. So we have a BHB acid form, which provides BHB in a higher level with less mineral content to it because it's in a liquid form. Compared to our powders that we have, which everything's attached to a mineral, you just are required to have less minerals in the acid, which allows you to do higher amounts of BHB. And of course, those who want to understand the science more, just reach out to me. It's really not for this episode, but I really want to get into this white paper. Why does Go BHB RTD have such a unique dual action absorption capabilities? Again, the dual ability to be able to absorb both sublingually and gastrointestinally. That means in your mouth and through your your stomach system. This not only delivers an instantaneous and perceivable impact through the sublingual absorption, but BHB does not need to be broken down by the liver. Again, reiteration of what I said, just in a different way. Language is so important, words we use and the meaning behind them. So I may say the same thing twice, but I'm going to say it in different ways depending on your level of communication reception, which is huge nowadays because how we interpret information is based on the filters of our experiences. So it's really important that sometimes you re-listen to information twice because you might take something differently the next time around based on the state of mind you are in or the state of frame or energy or your circumstances around. All right, moving on. The relationship between lipid solubility and the speed of absorption. So BHB is highly lipid soluble, which means it's able to dissolve in lipids or fats. It's the most lipid soluble ketone body, meaning it can quickly and completely dissolve through the tissues of the mouth. Again, exactly what I said. Naturally, when you put a supplement into your mouth and it absorbs, it is incredibly powerful. It crosses through the cell membranes and is transported into the bloodstream to provide energy for cellular utilization throughout the body, targeting the brain, heart, kidneys, and the entire central nervous system. That is a no-brainer to me. No pun intended. But if you're going to tell me that I can prevent Alzheimer's and dementia, as well as improve my cognitive response without taking a stimulant drug. I mean, caffeine is really a class of drug, and I remember, just to get off track for 1 second, I remember when I started out in the health and wellness industry, I was 19 years old, had been in it a year, and the research about adding caffeine to sports performance products, that was around 2005. And now, how many years later? Almost 18, 20 years later, it's coming back around that caffeine might not be the most optimal performance. So just something to kind of think about. In addition, BHB also delivers 2.5 times the ATP, which is cellular energy, and requires no transport mechanism, produces more power, and uses less oxygen compared to glucose. The BHB RTD delivers fast fuel to the brain and body. So when you're drinking it in this form, not only is it a fun way to have something that's kind of filling with the carbonation, but you're getting the most optimal performance delivery straight into your body. Now, highly lipid soluble substances can be absorbed under the tongue, which is another way of saying sublingually, under the tongue. The absorption process of the substance is through the cell walls of the mouth. Lipid soluble BHB gets absorbed and dissolved into the mucous membranes into the mouth. The tiny blood I'm sorry, my words today, I'm saying so many big words, but I want to make sure that I target you guys saying important words, especially for the ones that are formulating and branding. So the tiny blood capillaries, they're stored under the tongue, and they have a rapid rate of absorption. And this allows the BHB to directly bypass the systems of the gastrointestinal tract and the liver. Again, you don't have to extract energy from energy to get more energy by taking BHB adhered to minerals, whether it becomes a powder or a liquid BHB acid form. I mean, some of you are saying, well, can I take it with caffeine? Absolutely, you can. It serves both purposes. For someone who is really trying to stay away from caffeine, not a bad thing, may not be optimal for everyone. So let's talk about how caffeine maybe could complement, the power of a BHB and an RTD. So nootropics, also known as smart drugs, they are predominantly absorbed through the GI tract. They're designed to be broken down into the stomach and intestines, where the active ingredients are absorbed into the bloodstream and transported to the brain. This, in combination with the BHB RTD, they act as the duration of it. So you basically prolong the process a little bit because you're getting mouth absorption as well as GI tract absorption. And like caffeine, nootropics are central nervous system stimulants. They increase alertness, they improve the mood, they enhance physical performance by stimulating the neurons. But there is a difference. BHB is not stimulating anything. What it does is providing energy to supercharge these cells, where other things such as nootropics and caffeine are a stimulant. So it really depends kind of what your goals are long term. There's not a bad way or a wrong way. It just depends on really how do you want to take care of your body and your brain. Nootropics don't provide a real cellular energy. So what I'm going to explain to you right now is a cellular energy is food provided to the mitochondria. This would be a macronutrient, a protein, carbohydrate, and a fat. Those are energy sources, and they're broken down to provide energy. Ketones is a cellular energy provided to break down and provide energy. Caffeine, being a nootropic stimulant, works by blocking the action of adenosine. I can never say this word. I don't know why, no matter how time I practice it. But the adenosine, which is a neurotransmitter, that promotes sleep and suppresses arousal. So, I mean, I guess you could think of that too. If you're taking caffeine and you're suppressing your sleep and you're suppressing the energy naturally, you're suppressing arousal too, that sexual energy. Just saying, it might be a good way for some of you to enhance or increase that by just not having caffeine. Just saying. BHB being a macronutrient, that cellular energy, which is ATP, has really been clinically proven to show the improvement of cognitive function. Now, Real Ketones has a study that shows that the cognitive enhancement was by 9.9%. All right, so let me just think about this. If I am reducing the level of natural stress in my brain, and I'm an executive or a high performing business person, and I'm able to reduce my stress while improving my decision making faster, that is a no-brainer. To supplement with that in your day, you guys, that's a no-brainer. I mean, I'm a single mom of two. I work full time. I'm traveling. I have other side projects that I'm working on. One being the study of the neurological system subconsciously and how our brain interacts on many levels. And I need to be sharp and cognitively focused all day long. I don't want to take something that's going to stimulate my brain. I don't want to take something that's going to cause my body harm in the long run. So I do stay away from things like, focus supplements. I don't take ADD medications. And the thing that helps me to be able to steer clear of that is drinking a vault every single day. Now, the days I'm not intensely thinking, maybe on the weekend, I really don't supplement with it because I don't feel like my brain is utilizing the energy as much. But I'm in tune with my body. I kind of know what it needs. Anyone else, that's going to have to be a personal decision. So, kind of touching a little bit on the caffeine and BHB can work synergistically together if that's the goal. So companies that want to put it with caffeine, you definitely can do that. But it really is a game changer to have it with no caffeine, to really allow your body to go through its natural processes. Imagine what you're doing for your body long term. Being in the health and wellness industry for 20 years, like I have been, and watching the evolution of the mindsets and the understanding, it really just comes back to one thing. What do you value in your body long term? What are your goals? And do you want to protect the most important asset in your body? It's on a physical level, just like protecting the money you make in a financial sense. You put it in a savings account. You do things to promote its growth, right? You put it in banking investment accounts. You put it in the stock market. You do things to promote your financial growth smart. So why wouldn't you do things that put bank deposits into your cellular brain cells and promote longevity with your brain? That's a no-brainer. In conclusion, basically, um, without nootropics, a BHB RTD can provide the highest energy formulation for an RTD that can be easily felt in the effects. And it provides the only true replacement for RTDs containing sugar and trumps any caffeinated RTD because of the ability to provide a true cellular energy, not just a neuronal stimulation that ends in a crash. If you take anything from this podcast recording today, that is the one thing. Caffeine long term can be very detrimental to an organ that is being put into overdrive. Don't you want to preserve and have an optimal lifespan with longevity, giving it exactly what it needs? Carbohydrate presence or not, you can still take this product. And we've got many testimonials. And in the next episodes to come, people who have been taking it and feeling the difference, who know nothing about health and nutrition, but because they are feeling it for themselves is a testament on its own. So if you guys have not tried the Vault, you can find it on Amazon. If you know how to get a hold of me, I will send you out a sample for you to try it. I'm going to tell you 10 for 10 right now. Anybody that has tried it, that has gotten it from me, has 100% felt it. That's pretty powerful to have a product that not only works and then you feel it and then you notice the difference, not even attached to a body, anything, but just feeling it in your brain. That says something. That speaks volumes. So I'm going to challenge you to try it. I want you guys to email me, bonnie@ketonelabs.com. I want to hear your feedback, not only on what you felt, and I'm curious to know which of the flavors is your favorite. There's 4 right now: the coconut, the watermelon, the black cherry, and the cucumber mint. I'd be curious to know which is your favorite. Coconut is mine. But yeah, you guys, this is an incredible work I get to be part of. I didn't leave my 6-figure real estate business. It took me 2 years to build, and I didn't leave, my other businesses because I couldn't make them successful. I was successful in them. I came into this work knowing what I know and wanting to help educate and to tell people what I wanted to educate. I wanted to empower people to make decisions. And this work is so meaningful. It's so powerful. We are changing lives. We are showing people how to have a better quality of life by adding something to their daily regimen. How cool is that? So send me your questions. I hope you guys try the RTD. If you don't take it in an RTD form, it's not your jam. I want to know how you like the powdered form of the stick packs. You know how to reach me. I'm on social media, and I look forward to hearing from you guys.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you like what you heard, please share it and help us keep the conversation going. We can't grow without you. So thank you in advance for your support of Power of Perseverance.